My name is Rick Jones, and I'm here at Meadowland Farm with Sarah Judd. And we're in the middle of a beautiful strawberry patch because today is Sunday is the National Indigenous Day of Prayer. And I want to tell you some strawberry stories from our Indigenous brothers and sisters. But before I do that, I want to say a word about this place that we are standing on, the land all around here, all down through the whole parish of Long Point Bay, is all part of the territory that used to belong to the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee. And the Haudenosaunee means literally the people of the Long House, and they are the people that are now the Six Nations. And they lived in this area, and around 1792 they signed Treaty Number 3 with the rest of us. And but they were the people who originally lived on this land for hundreds and perhaps thousands of years. So this land is still sacred to them, and we with these strawberries, perhaps we'll see how sacred strawberries are not only to First Nations people, but perhaps could be for us as well. So the strawberry patch is important, and these, first of all, let me say, the stories that I'm telling were told to me by Albert Dumont. He's an Algonquin elder and storyteller, and if I make mistakes in telling the stories, I want you to know that those are my mistakes and not his mistakes. And I want to thank him for sharing these stories. So the strawberry is shaped like a heart. It's odamen is the word for strawberry, odamen, and it's called the heartberry. And just as the strawberry is connected to the leaves and the vines and the roots and all the tendrils all around, so the heart in the human being is connected to all the rest of the organs of the body, all through the blood. And truly, the heart is the center of a human being. And so for the Anishinaabe and many other groups, the heartberry, the odamen, symbolizes the center of our personhood, our heart, and our connectedness. So in order to be in balance as a human being, you have to have a good heart, and you have to have a balanced heart. The other thing that we learn from the interconnectedness of the heart and the strawberries is that just as we are connected internally, we are also connected externally. So we are connected to our brothers and sisters through our families and through our friends and through our nation. And so all people are connected together through this heart connection. The reason that this becomes kind of important at this time of year is that the strawberry is the first berry that can be harvested in the wild. And so many First Nations groups in June have a ceremony where they get everybody together, and people that have not seen each other for the whole winter, and people who are also have been cooped up together for the whole winter, now get together and they talk to one another and greet one another. And if differences and problems have begun to occur through the winter of close confinement, this is the time to share strawberries and to reaffirm the heart connection and the reconciliation that we can have with one another. You may have noticed that I'm wearing this cross, and there's a story behind the cross. The cross was a heart gift to me from Bishop Larry Beardy. He wasn't a bishop when he gave it to me. He was the executive officer of the Diocese of Keewatin, which is in northern Manitoba. And I met him first there, and we spent some time together. I was on an exchange there, And then he came down to my parish in Hamilton and was a visitor there. And I had learned some things about hospitality when I was there with him, and from the First Nations brothers and sisters. And their teachings about hospitality and about gift giving were very profound for me. And so when I knew that Larry was going to be coming down, it was for General Synod, I specifically wanted him to come to our parish, and he came and he preached. And he noticed that I had incorporated into the liturgy for our parish many of the elements of hospitality which were commonplace in the First Nations churches. And at the end of the service, he took off his cross that he was wearing, which had been made for him by his wife, and he handed it to me as a heart gift offering. So I wear it today as a connection to him and to our First Nations brothers and sisters. We know that we are on a journey of reconciliation with our brothers and sisters, and we need to always be mindful of the fact that this is a journey, and that there are many things that we don't understand yet as settlers, as people who literally are the second people here, and people who have sinned, I would say, against our First Nations brothers and sisters, and we have to learn about that. This is not something that is any different than the systemic kind of racism that is so obvious when we look at our brothers and sisters in the South, and we see these riots, and we see the things that are happening and why people are protesting. And we know that we too have history of things that we don't even think about, which in fact are just part of how we grew up and how our culture evolved, and we need to listen to the heart stories of other people so that we can really truly have reconciliation. I want to end with the final story that Albert told, which I thought was quite wonderful. He told the story of the first strawberry. There's a number of different stories about how the medicine plant, the strawberry medicine plant, came to be. But one of the stories that I like is the one where the two brothers were growing up together, and one of them liked a particular girl, and the other brother thought he would just tease his brother about it. Oh, your nose is too big, your ears are too big, she'll never like you. And so they were fighting back and forth, and just like brothers do. And they were out in the woods together, and they were wrestling around, and one of the brothers struck his head on a stone and was killed. And the other brother felt so sick and bad about it, and he didn't know what to do, that he buried his brother out in the forest, and he went home alone, and he made up a story about how his brother had gotten lost and he didn't know where he was, and he basically hid the truth. The whole winter passed, and he fretted about what had happened. He was heartsick about what had happened. In the spring, he told the elders what had happened. He said he shared the story, and together they went out and they found the place where he had buried his brother. And there, coming out of the grave, was a strawberry plant with berries on it. And so many Native people believe that the strawberry plant is also a symbol of the connection that we have to those, our ancestors, those who have gone before us. And that when we see a strawberry plant, we can remember that all we need to do is to call for them to be with us. Call for them, in Christian terms, to be one of the great communion of saints that is ever with us, and that they will be with us in our time of need. Another word for the strawberry plant literally means I love you. Or more correctly translated, I shall care for you. Notice the difference. I shall care for you means that we find ways actually to show our love for other people, to show our care for other people, to really truly walk the talk of reconciliation, of love, of the fact that we are one, brotherhood, sisterhood, together. We are connected, literally connected as brothers and sisters. We are brothers and sisters, not only children of God, but children of the Creator. I would like to just end today by saying the collect appointed for today. Which talks about reconciliation. Let us pray. Creator God, from you every family in heaven and earth takes its name. You have rooted and grounded us in your covenant love and empowered us by your Spirit to speak the truth in love and to walk in your way towards justice and wholeness. Mercifully grant that your people, journeying together in partnership, may be strengthened and guided to help one another to grow into the full stature of Christ, who is our light and our life. Amen.